Feeding the Pacific Northwest is a collaborative project between the Oregon Foodbank, the Idaho Foodbank, and Food Lifeline and Second Harvest in Washington State. And we're working together to source food in a bigger and better way and finding ways that we can collaborate and partner and just be more efficient.
The borders for our growers did not line up with our service area boundaries. And in fact, it wasn't out of the ordinary for a farmer who might have acreage in Washington State to also have acreage in Idaho, to also have acreage in Oregon. It just became obvious to us that we had been thinking too small, that our produce sourcing needed to be a regional effort.
Produce is an area where a lot of food banks are turning their individual attentions towards how to make that a larger source stream for their food banks. But that then should lead to sharing amongst multiple food banks with best practices, with regions that maybe have more product to share and to source. And then also amongst food banks saying, how can we get more variety in our area? How can we work together to increase that and to share it?
With any collaboration and when people are coming from very different models, there's always some challenges. But the wonderful thing about this collaboration is that everyone has their eye on the mission of providing more food to more families that's more nutritious. And so we've really been able to work through those in a way that's benefited each of the individual food banks and ultimately our clients.
This work feels really slow to start because the conversations are really detailed and you got to build that trust and you have to build those connections. But the reality is we're going to go way farther by doing this work together than we are as individual islands.
There's some frozen items and there's some canned items, there's some packaging materials, and it keeps growing. People don't realize that you have a need for those things, and the more communicating we do with the other partners and the other food banks in the Northwest, they realize what our needs are, and we're starting to help each other out in those ways also.
It's also been amazing for us as CEOs. What we realized is that we had created a peer support circle, and we now are meeting on a regular basis and providing each other with support, with insight, with advice, and it's gone way beyond food sourcing. We've now become really trusted advisors to one another.
All of a sudden we understand what each other are trying to do and what we have available to us, and once you have an understanding of what other people are looking for, you can actually assist them at the same time they're assisting you.
We're always going to be more efficient working together than we are as individual silos.